What is up, my G's, and welcome to Grounded 1.0 Day 7. Today we're going to be running the Hedge Lab and also actually getting the Broodmother BLT recipe. Before we get started here, I just want to remind you guys this is a playthrough, not a tutorial. There are going to be some things that I skip and bypass, but if you do want to kind of follow along, I take a pretty direct route to getting it done. So starting at the field station, we're gonna come up, probably gonna remember the juice box. There is a milk molar on top of there, which I am gonna bypass for now, but with a little bit of parkour you can go up there and get it. So up past the juice box, you take the zip line. I'm going to rearrange some mutations here. I had them all set for basically traveling. We're going to be doing a little fighting, so I turned on meat shield, and I also turned on chopper, which does more damage with the axe. And I left on cardio fan, which helps with stamina recovery time. So I'm going to take the zip line, but jump off a little bit early. There was some raw science down there if you remember the video before. Turn around, and now we're going to go into this door here. Long story short, there's going to be power to turn on the resource surveyors, which is going to be huge. There's also going to be some tasties in here, which I forgot they changed to E instead of left click to peep them. But anyways, you're going to want to take these guys out real quick. Collect the raw science for killing them. Collect the chest, which will have some goodies in it. And there's also some files here that you're going to want to grab since you're here anyways. And also this tape on the table.
Verbal transcription unit 87.10.25. Order number 73.
I find it a wonder that the Burgle Mark IVs never caught on. I believe them to be far superior to
Next
the
we
Mark
go
IIIs.
to
Those
the
never
back
lived up to
and
my
go through this
expectations.
door. This is pretty simple. There's some raw science and
I can only
then
calculate post
some
cooking
goodies on the
burger weights to
table.
nearest tenth
Also
of
the
a
power
pound.
switch right there on the right.
And they only had enough memory for one seasoning module, salt or pepper. All solved with you Mark IVs, not to mention your most excellent mustaches.
Thank you. I will never forget this moment.
Scabby, surveyor connection established. Use survey stations to scan for analyzed materials. Visit
Pretty
additional
straightforward.
stations
You go to the
expand
resource
the
surveyor,
survey
and
network.
any resources that you have analyzed, it'll basically ping it on the map and show you locations of where you can find those resources. So coming back out, we're going to want to drop onto the branch, cross the mushrooms, take the left, not the right, when you get to the other end of the zip line. You're going to follow this branch around, jump across to the mushrooms, and once you get onto this branch, you're going to want to turn to the right and come around this way. This is where you're going to find the next part of the Hedge Lab, and so we're just going to go across this branch here and over to this little building. And in here you're going to find some raw science, you're going to find a chest, you're going to find a new scabby, and you're also going to find a tape and some food sitting on the table just over here.
For so long, I have felt taunted by the spiders of the yard. Climbing, crawling, skittering with the greatest of ease. Oh, and how they delight in violating my workspace. I can't take a single step without getting stuck in their confounded webbing. I'm wasting daylight, running, climbing, surviving, traversing this broken lab. The entire yard, for that matter, has become untenable. But perhaps my spider friends hold the key to my problems.
Okay, so coming back out, we are going to turn to the right and go across those mushrooms there up ahead. We're going to take this zip line here, which is going to take us to the Frisbee and also the Broodmother boss entrance area. Which is right over there, but we're not going to bother going in there. We don't have the equipment to take her on. We don't have the BLT to summon her anyways, so what we're going to do is come down here.
Let's take a look.
Grab the scabby that's sitting right here. And then carry on through onto this branch here. Up to the right and take this zip line here. Once you get in here, you're going to find some raw science, another chest, some spiderlings, and another tape. So make sure you grab all that.
Today, Trudy asked, or rather insisted, I take a break from my work for a family day. I'll admit the argument that preceded my reluctant agreement was one for the ages. She just doesn't understand how important the work is. But in the end, all was not lost. As fate would have it, our little trip to Stormin' Beach's Wave Park has given me fresh inspiration. A particular attraction sported a zip line over an undulating pool filled with sun-baked tubers, basking in the light of the cruel sun that baked them like red raisins. But I digress. It was the zip line that captured my imagination. Such an elegant solution to my problems in the hedge. When we got home, it was straight back to work. After another argument, of course.
Okay, so then coming out the back door, you kind of going to want to go that way, but you actually want to turn to the immediate left. And then you are going to be going up here. It's going to be getting dark. This is why I brought the Firefly headlamp, which helps. You can bring torches as well. You don't really need either, but it helps. So up the mushrooms, across the leaf, up the branch. Pretty much just wanting to go up right now. Off in the distance you can see some raw science. You're going to have to do a little parkour for that, so I'm just going to bypass it for now. It's not that big of a deal. And you will find another zip line. Now you're in the main Hedge lab area. So there's a tape here. You're just going to want to look around, make sure you gather everything.
Mixed results. Prices on steel cable are ridiculous, so I've been forced to proceed with my original idea, spider thread. I'm using web samples from my unwanted guests with a few clever alterations, of course.
There's some raw science out on this branch if you want to grab it, but be careful, you don't really want to fall at this point.
I swear that the lost city of Atlantis might be found beneath the roots of this blasted bush. I told them both. No baseballs, no flingman discs, no more throwing. I'll need to find a way to strengthen the zip lines,
and then you are going to want to activate the biometric scanner, which, side note, if you didn't do the one at the Oak Lab yet, you're going to have to, otherwise you won't even be able to do this. So you probably have, you should have by now, but if you haven't and this isn't working, that could be why. Anyways, over to the terminal, and you are going to see that you need a password. So we need to go and find the password numbers, and to get started, we're going to go through this door at the back here. You're going to come across some doors that are locked. They're kind of just blocked by spider webs, easy enough to cut away. Watch out for orb weavers and spiderlings. And again, just inspecting the room, making sure we're collecting everything in each room as we come to it.
Slowly, my torments come together into one ingenious solution. After trying countless materials, I finally found something to fix my zipline problem. While the bonding formulas were complex to say the least, I've successfully fused the web ropes with raw science.
And this is where we're going to find the first piece of the password, number 58. You don't need to remember the numbers, you just need to collect these pieces. There's a locked door there. There's a zip line to the right that we're not going to take. We're going to want to take this hallway here.
Dental floss.
Oh, only something without gums would suggest that. This is not some trifle to pick parsley between trips to the periodontist.
I will take your word for it, Dr. Tully.
You're going to find some more Tase Tees back here. And again, there's a reason I'm not crafting too many weapons right now. There's certain weapons I am going to be going after. So just to save resources, there's kind of a reason I haven't been doing it, and also why I have Chopper equipped with my axe. Even with the tier 2 axe, it's not exactly the best weapon to be using, but with Chopper and Meat Shield applied, especially in the beginning, this is going to be enough for you to get through. Alright, so you're going to see that hallway going up. You're actually going to turn around from there and come into this room. Again, just make sure as you're coming into each room, each new section, you're just going over it all real quick, grabbing everything that's in each room.
Science. Boom.
You're gonna find this zip line, and there's a branch blocking the way. That's completely fine. You're gonna take the zip line, it's gonna knock you off onto a branch. You just go underneath and then grab the zip line again. When you get in here, you're gonna want to have a torch or the headlamp, because there's a hole that I just fell through that you're not really gonna want to fall through. Not yet, at least. Luckily, there is a way back up, and this is it. So this is the hole you want to try to avoid, and right behind it is the next piece of the password. So grab that. And now after you have the password piece, now you want to drop down the hole, basically do a 180, turn around, and you will see the next part of the building over here across this branch, across the mushrooms, and into the hallway. When you get into this room here, if you go to the far left, just outside, there's a gold mega milk molar. You can grab that if you want. And when you come back in, you're going to want to take your first left and go up the hallway here. When you get into this room here, you're going to find another Tase T. I actually used the hammer this time and it took him out quicker, so that might be an option if you want. And then you're going to want to take, not this hallway, this one, continuing on your way up. And you're just gonna go all the way up until you get into this room here, which is basically like a storage room. There's all kind of resources in here if you need anything. My inventory is pretty full right now, but there are resources in here if you happen to need any. I would probably grab the brittle marble shards at least. There's some sap, some grass fibers, other things, but grab that stuff at least. Anything else you might need if you have inventory space. Okay, and then when you come to this zip line here, it's kind of hard to see because it's dark, I know, but there is a hatch, an open hatch. We're going to want to jump off this zip line early and drop down the hatch, which is right there. There's some raw science as well you can grab. But yeah, you're going to want to drop off early and then down the hole, and here is some spiderlings and the next piece of the password.
Let's take a look.
Grab the bandages and food off the table here. Now here is the resource surveyor, and what it does is, maybe we'll try something other than algae. Since we're in the hedge, we'll do berry chunks. Okay, so you see all the red dots now? It's pinged all the places where I can find berry chunks. Once you have a resource analyzed, you can come to the resource surveyor, and that's what it does. It'll ping where those resources are on the map for you. Okay, so from here, facing the table, the hallway on the left, you're going to come down here. You can actually go either way. These both lead back to the same place, so I opened that one just because. And then back over to the right, come down the hallway, you'll find another web block door, cut it down. Now both of those hallways lead back to this room, so it doesn't really matter which way you take. So from here, we're going to find this zip line, and there's going to be a berry block in the way. There's a couple ways you can go. This way is easier. That berry will knock you off and down, so you don't want to hit that. So all you do is pull out your bow, shoot the berry, it knocks it down. Now you're safe to take the zip line to the next spot.
Can I get extra credit for this?
Be careful of the Orb Weaver Juniors, possibly spiderlings that are down here. Take care of them, and there is the last piece of the password.
Caught in a web!
Again, just making sure you're checking each room. There's another scabby right there. So take a look around each section, each room as you come across. There are some hidden goodies pretty much in each room. And now we're heading back to the terminal room to enter the password into the terminal. So you're gonna come through the door. When you get here, you're gonna turn around almost 180, come up through here, stay to the right, down this hallway. Back into this room, and then basically back left, you're gonna want to take this door right here. And now we are back in the terminal room, where you are going to input the password, which will unlock this door here. You come back, you will find the super chip for Burgle, as well as this evacuation, I believe it's a data piece, are both on the table, so make sure you grab those.
Not that my parents would let me.
Okay, so now as far as the actual Hedge lab goes, we're done. You could leave if you want to, but I would highly suggest, since we're here already, that you grab the Broodmother BLT recipe. That's going to be the only way you're going to be able to spawn her to fight her, which we won't be doing anytime soon. But like I said, since we're here already and we're close, we might as well grab it anyways. So basically this is the way you're going to want to go. So all the way up, now we are back in the storage room, and what you're going to want to do is not take that zip line. You're actually going to want to maybe kill the sleeping spiderling and then drop down to that branch right there. And if you turn around, you can see that you can now get on top of the lab. So what we're going to do is, there's the zip line, we drop down, we turn around, and then we're going to drop down onto the lab right here. You're going to go up, over this way, kind of back left. Now we're on top of the lab right there. We're going to go to the left here. We're going to get on top of this branch, and we're basically just going to follow it. Once we get here, you're going to see the building right there. And you're going to want to be careful, especially at night. The branches get pretty skinny. But basically, just keep going up. Follow the branch. Into the room. Collect the raw science. On the table is another scabby. And right here is the Broodmother research notes. That's going to unlock the ability to make the Broodmother BLT, which again is the only way you can summon her. So like I said, while you're up here, you might as well grab that. Now we're done. Now we're gonna head back to Burgle at the Oak Lab and talk to him.
can I help you today? Huh. You made it back in one piece. How unexpected. You are more resourceful than I thought. Hand it over and we can see what data Dr. Tully backed up upon it. Processing. Processing. This is the Hedge Super Chip. Forgive me, I forgot to mention the nasty spiders before I sent you up there. I hope they were not too much trouble. Haha. I am feeling much more like myself. Take it from me, there's nothing quite like a reverse lobotomy. Thank you. Now, what is it you were wanting to know? Oh yeah, there are 4 labs throughout the yard, each with a super chip. The Hedge Lab, the Pond Lab, the Haze Lab, and the Black Ant Lab. And you have already made it through the hedge, so now on to the others. I will mark the locations of the super chips in those labs. Please find them and return to me so we can figure out how to repair the spacer. Oh, before you leave, check out the new recipes in the ASL Terminal Science Shop. That could be helpful for some of the tougher challenges. Please come again soon.
Okay, and that's all pretty straightforward, pretty self-explanatory. We don't have any mega milk molars. We have 1, but we need 2 for the next upgrade. We got some daily quests. When it comes to like making armor pieces, I don't really take those quests after the first one. There's no point, it's just a waste of resources. But over here in the science shop, I've got 11.1k raw science right now. So I'm gonna grab zip lines, ladders. Daredevil's kind of a useless mutation. Could grab it if you want, it helps with fall damage, but for now I'm gonna grab the Hedge cookbook. And that's gonna be it for the Hedge lab. I think we pretty much covered all the locations, at least most of them, even if I didn't go and get some things. There's mega milk molars around. We've got everything. We got the BLT Broodmother recipe. So yeah, it will take you a bit of time. Daytime is better if you can manage to do that. If not, take torches, take a firefly headlamp. That'll help. But yeah, that's it. So remember guys, as always, if you like the video, make sure you drop a like. If you found it helpful and you're following along with these, make sure you subscribe. That stuff all really helps. And I will see you next time. GG's.